Drew, you're in the midst of a little mini book tour. Is that right? You're in Austin, Chicago,
book tour,
Boston tomorrow night?
I go places and I read, which is so exciting. You're like, oh, read to me out loud.
Is Bret Michaels pimping your tour bus? No.
I had an ex-girlfriend who she was a horrible ex-girlfriend. She used to read to me out loud. I'm traumatized from reading out loud now because she'd be like, oh my God, I have to read you this. And I was like, she'd have the magazine and I was like, just hand it to me. I can read it. I can literally read it in a minute. And no, she would have to like fucking perform the 10 tips to improve your lasagna. I'm like, bitch, just hand it to me. I'll get the gist of it really fast.
You can make the lasagna in the time that it takes.
She wouldn't hand it over. I was like, what the fuck? She sucked. We don't go out anymore.
No, you're not married to that one.
I'm not married to that one.
You didn't write a loving, beautiful book about the family that you have with that girl.
Yeah, they're okay. The ones in that book are
yeah.
okay.
So what is harder, man? Is it writing these books? You've done 3 now, or is it selling the books, going on these tours, doing all the morning radio?
I mean, writing a book is not fun, right? Because it's a lot of words. Like, I'm just like any other person. Like, when in college, I would use New York or Palatino font, like to make, I would do 2.1 spacing to be like, well, it looks like double spacing, but it's not.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
Like, I would do my best.
2.5, man.
Yeah, they'll never know. Yeah. It's like 8 words, but it's like 60 pages. Right?
Courier is the ultimate font for that.
Courier, yeah. Courier, which makes everything look awful. Like all screenplays, they're like, you have to write it in Courier so that it looks horrible, so that we shit all over it. So then, writing a book it's not fun. But the problem is when you write it, you do it alone, and you do it on your own terms. So that's nice.
Yeah.
The whoring thing, where you have to send emails like, hey, I know you from that one thing, the other thing. Can you just blurb my book and all? You feel like an asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? I'm an asshole anyway, so I don't mind.
You are an asshole, Drew, but people love you for it. Yeah. That's how you made your living, basically.
Some of them. You're going to be like, oh, who's that asshole?
Well, this book shouldn't be hard to sell because A, it's great, and B, Father's Day is on Sunday, and it's a great Father's Day gift.
You give it to his ass, right?
Well, we have a connection. Right?
Yeah, now we know each other. You could blurb the book.
I haven't written a book yet, though. I have to work on the book.
It's all right. You just write like one word and just paste it over and over again. You just say people who write a book. Yeah. That's still hard.
Start with blogging, Dad. Try to master that.
You having fun being a father?
Work your way up.
I mean, I don't know if it's fun. It's important, right? It's one of those things where you're like, I read some book where like someone like did like a Knowles trip and he's like, the whole time he's like, this sucks. And his counselor was like, listen, there are things you like doing and there are things you like having done. This is the latter. So then he got back from the Knowles trip and he's like, hey, that was pretty good. So fatherhood's like that, except it never ends. So when I die, I'll be really happy about what I've accomplished.
There's a major payoff there.
I'll be like, look at all I did. That was really fun, but now I'm fucking dead.
Yeah. That's what it's about. That's what
that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. It's great. It's the best.
Got to carry on the Magary name.
Totally.
Drew, I read the book and I laughed, and dare I say I cried a little bit, man. I mean, it turns out there's a sensitive side to Drew Magary. And it only took the near death of your prematurely born son to bring it out of you.
It's like, I was doing okay, and then he almost died. I'm like, oh, all right, fine. I guess I'll be emotional now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he lived, by the way.
He lives. Spoiler alert, he lives.
Spoiler alert, he lived.
Kind of ruins the ending, but would have been more dramatic.
If you were dead, I would be like, it wouldn't be as convivial.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
but you do write with brutal honesty and emotion about that whole trauma, 27 days in the NICU. I mean, were you worried at all about coming across as a bit of a softie, considering your reputation for being a smart-ass motherfucker?
No, I think you can be a smart-ass motherfucker, but I think so long as people know underneath that you're a normal human being.
Yeah.
You can be sort of trolly at times, but so long as people know that sort of underneath you're a nice person in your everyday life, and you have some sort of moral compass that you follow. I'm not saying that I'm fucking Tim Tebow or anything like that. I'm just saying, you try your best in your normal life to not be a complete dick. And if that comes across when you're writing, I think people will go with you to more sort of extreme places in terms of humor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think South Park, like, it goes into very extreme forms of comedy, but there's never anyone who says, hey, that Trey Parker, what a fucking asshole. If they did, then no one would fucking watch.
Yeah. Well, even in the most poignant moments, you seem to almost consciously find a way to undercut the sentimentality with a well-placed F-bomb or poop joke.
Yeah. I'm in the NICU, and like in the NICU, they have signs saying you have to make sure you clean your hands, like, thoroughly in
Yeah.
the NICU, because if you don't, you'll infect all these 1-week-old babies that are 2 pounds with meningitis or something like that. So,
Yeah.
but every time I went, I was so nervous to see my son because he was in in intensive care that I would have to take a shit. Like I would have to take a shit, and so I would go into the NICU bathroom and I would take a shit. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm shitting in the NICU where there are all these beautiful children, and I'm just befouling it with my this burrito that I ate like a day ago. And I wipe my ass, and and they have a sink outside, and I'm just washing and washing and washing, but I'm terrified that there are still flecks, right?
Yeah.
That there will be a fleck somewhere that just goes rogue. Just like gets into some isolate somewhere, just goes rogue and just goes up some baby's nose and just ruins them forever.
Airborne fecal matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you sometimes like if you're in a place and like someone farted or they took a shit and it smelled like if you're in a biff, if you're in like a porta potty, and like the smell is so bad, you're like the feces has like permeated the air. Like I get that question a lot. That's been like am I breathing in shit? Like is it like going into like the alveoli sacs? I'm sorry, I have to hear this.
Now I know why I don't know dead spit.
and they ask me that, and I say no, but I don't know. I'm just saying.